Thank you so much, Eric, for your time. So again, as Eric mentioned, it's time to take some questions. Just a reminder, please use the chat box to the right of the screen to send us any questions that you may have. We've already gotten a couple that have come in. The first one being, Eric, what advice do you have for an organization looking to implement their first chatbot?
Great question. And this is something that we hear, every single week, if not every day. I think chatbots are sometimes scary. I think there's the concern that the bot is going to go rogue, but fortunately, those days are really behind us. Our advice is always to start small. And that's definitely something that we can help you identify. What are those frequently asked questions that really shouldn't involve a human to answer them? And we can evaluate your inbound call logs to understand where are the biggest drivers. Starting there, just as AXA did, again, can really be a huge savings on cost to offload those from voice to digital. And then we can start to be strategic about what the bot can do next, integrating into things like a CRM, potentially a purchasing order system to help drive real difficult conversations that the bot can handle exclusively, such as how do I open a new account? Even automating a new account opening from start to finish without human interaction can be very powerful and also be a huge cost savings driver.
Fantastic. The next one that came in is, how has digital engagement involved? I'm sorry, how has digital engagement evolved over the past few years?
Yeah, also a great question. So I think really we've seen a whole new wave of this asynchronous messaging that I touched upon. Digital engagement, some of us still think about it as chat, email, maybe SMS, but those have been around for a long time. They have their limitations. Now, new channels such as Google Business Messages, Apple Business Chat, WhatsApp, the feature-rich nature of these channels really enables a company to automate a lot more of the interaction before we pass it to an agent. Apple Business Chat in particular is really slick, where if I go to call your company, it's going to prompt me to move to digital right away. So it really has a built-in call deflection strategy within the channel itself. Another area where RingCentral can really help is to evaluate your customer base, understand what they're doing today, and help you choose which channels you should start with to get the biggest lift right from the get-go.
Great. And I think we've got time for one more. So what are the use cases that you've seen for AI chatbots, specifically in financial services?
Yeah, perfect. So I think really it falls into three buckets. We have the fully autonomous, as I've mentioned, which is handling those frequently asked questions, especially if you still have brick and mortar stores. Those are a lot of the questions, especially maybe from some of the older generations that aren't as sophisticated at navigating the web. They're going to be calling in for things like hours of operation, just very basic questions that if you can get those out of your call center queue, that's the lowest hanging fruit. From there, some of those more advanced use cases. We've recently helped a national insurance company build out a fully autonomous solution where I can come in and register for a policy as a new customer from soup to nuts. Still, there's the opportunity to pass it to an agent should that go awry. But if you can imagine, now we're doing business almost for free, right? There's no labor costs associated with driving that revenue. And so lots of opportunities within that, but certainly an area where we can help you figure out what you're comfortable with, get started there, and then continue to be strategic over time.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Eric. And thanks for presenting today.